The model house, rural turned suburban America, home of the white people, home of the perfect family, home of God, a model home that hosts a model life. Checkboxes of conformity filled to determine our worth. Female bodies provide children, churn butter, sweep the floor, and provide sustenance, provide obedience, provide comfort and convenience. In early America, a godly home is maintained by the principles and teachings of the Word of Christ, the true basis of women's rights and duties. As Jesus used his hands to tend to his land, the family state collectively tended to their farm, plowing and sowing the fields, and feeding the livestock. Most families were self-sufficient in goods and labor. Every member of the home had responsibilities on the farm, whether it be flowers for the table or cotton for the clothing. Families led strict, timely, and mannered lives, with mother as the commander and father as the provider. Within the model home, the formation presented modes of economizing time, labor, and expense by the close packing of convenience, improving efficiency. Closely packed kitchens, like that of the Beechers, made women's lives easier by laying out cooking materials, utensils, and kitchen supplies, free of distracting decor and unnecessary obstacles. Main halls, conservatories, and parlors, however, must express an understanding of tasteful decor suitable for events and comfort, featuring hanging illustrations, flowers, statuettes, and movable screens. Within bedchambers, infants lie in a basket at the foot of the bed, and corner dressing tables save much space for use and give a handsome form and finish to the room. An organized home ensured no time was wasted, and women remained punctual in their daily chores. As caregiver of her family state and follower of God, she must maintain social and moral power in her keeping. She must beautify the inner makings of the home. She must express hospitality, teach social duties, and participate in the Christian neighborhood. She must be charitable as God would intend. She must provide healthful and tasteful foods for the family state. She must tailor and prepare God-honoring garments for the family state. She must teach and enforce early rising, domestic manners, and habits and systems to cultivate order. She must nurse the sick back to health. She must care for her infants, young children, the aged, and servants. She must care for rooms, yards, gardens, plants, fruits, and domestic animals. She must have a healthy mind and body free of disease. And she must unite several objects in one employment.
Isha, come wash the dishes, Emaan. Help me sweep the floor. I've been at work all day. You gotta come help me do some stuff in the kitchen.
Mom, I have an assignment for tonight and an essay for tomorrow. I have so much work to do. I can't do chores right now.
I don't care, child. I work all day, man. Chores are part of the job. Because you have school and I have work, the chores not gonna get done by himself.
The chief cause of women's disabilities and sufferings that women are not trained for, as men are, for their particular duties.
Historically, kitchens were not luxurious and were not rooms where people wanted to spend time. They definitely were not rooms meant for hosting guests or entertaining. They were dark and prone to catching fire. They were filled with noises, messes, and smells. They were extremely busy spaces that could be hot and uncomfortable. For these reasons, kitchens tended to be situated as far as possible from the social or private rooms in a home. So how did it come to be that the kitchens of today serve as the hub for nearly every aspect of home life? What events transpired to allow us the luxury of the kitchen we know today? Technological advancements in the kitchen were constant, most of which aimed at reducing labor and time. Due to this, in the 19th century, comfort and convenience became the two main principles used in the design of modern middle-class homes. The Industrial Revolution encouraged new inventions, cheaper prices, and new ways of thinking of economic and ergonomic efficiency. In 1899, the Hoosier Manufacturing Company was formed, and they introduced a freestanding kitchen storage piece known as the Hoosier cabinet. This new and improved design incorporated space-saving features like upper and lower cabinetry, in-cabinet storage spaces for things like flour and sugar, and often featured a pull-out work surface. Although the Hoosier cabinet was not large, it made working in the kitchen much more efficient, and it is the product that paved the way for future kitchen designs. People started to expand the idea of what a kitchen could be. In the 1930s and 40s, appliances were becoming more integrated within cabinetry, which created a different but more efficient use of space. Fitted cabinetry and appliances helped create a more purposeful and beautiful interior design, and the workflow within the space became easier to use. With the inventions of new time-saving tools, labor-saving devices, and better kitchen designs, this made the kitchen a source of happiness and pride. In the 50s, a great deal of emphasis was placed on modernizing older kitchens and having the newest gadgets and the most up-to-date appliances. But by the 70s, a modern kitchen had become standard. The focus shifted to creating kitchens to suit the individual homeowner and reflect their unique style. In the 1960s and 70s, other societal changes were taking place that impacted the style of the kitchen. A newfound interest in home cooking, entertaining, and obsessing over kitchen products and utensils meant that life was beginning to revolve around the kitchen. It became not only an eating area, but a gathering space, a relaxing spot, and the hub of social activity. Although it seems hard to believe that there was a time where the kitchen wasn't the hub of activity that it is today, looking into our modern open-concept homes that have turned the kitchen into a multi-purpose room is just an extension of what has been happening over the years. The kitchen has always been a room that has many different workstations for different events, an area to wash, to cook, to clean, to store, or to sit. As we grow and continue to develop the space, the idea of the kitchen being a place where work gets done will always be important. The concept of the model house has shaped this idea. Although we continue to advance and grow and our kitchen design evolves, we continue to add more and more information into this one space. Looking at the kitchen from this point of view can make us start to be creative with how we possibly want to see the kitchen in the future.
Culturally, an organized and comfortable home has been designated to the role of a woman who is charged with maintaining a peaceful home. The mythical American home allows for a man to return from work to a comfortable and clean environment. The kitchen was designed in such a way that aligns with the comfort of a woman, as they were the ones preparing the meals to serve to their husbands when they got home from work.
Is that it turns out ice circles and puts them in a bowl for you, all by itself. Continuous ice circles.
Yeah? Really?
Aren't you taking a chance of staining that counter with fruit juice? No danger with formica. Won't ever stain. Oh, that's the greatest help, George. Hanging the things you need where you need them. In fact, this whole kitchen was designed for efficiency and convenience.
That's what I like, solid and sturdy as steel.
Women and men were not equal in the 19th century. Men were the primary wage earners, while women were expected to be primarily responsible for housework and childcare. Women were perceived to be more maternal and domestic, anything in relation to the private sphere, while men were seen as the outgoing and best suited to do anything in relation to the public sphere or outside of the home. Not only was it a woman's job to counterbalance the mortal taint of the public sphere, in which their husbands labored all day, they were also preparing the next generation to carry on this way of life. Just like our forefathers, order and tradition was maintained in the domestic sphere.
When viewing these homes from the outside, one fails to evaluate who could be living inside, as all share the same personality, one that lacks metaphorical colors and warmth for people passing by or invited in. The modern home's interior exists to serve more than just the comfort of resting and eating. Now the dining room's purpose is to bring a family or families together for connecting through food. This responsibility, however, is now also occasionally, if not often, fulfilled by the TV lounge as well as the bedrooms, depending on the culture values within each home. When education comes in the topic, then the same rule applies, with any and every space being utilized at separate times to serve as a place to study or do work. It seems comfortable if thinking simply on the surface of what discipline stands for.
Okay, now let's count it on our fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
With the woman who already has a responsibility over her family, now also has the worries of work and its own responsibilities molding in with her personal life. With time, effort, and energy on the constant use, women are finally acknowledged in regards to working twice as hard as the men, both at home, in their studies, as well as their work lives.